Medicaid Mama's back. And if you have not seen my previous video from yesterday, you should go watch it so you can see what we're talking about. Because this woman that I made a video about yesterday doubled there down, and now we're at a spot where there is no coming back from all of that information. So we're gonna watch a video here coming up from two different creators. From her, I'm gonna stitch one or two of them, and we're gonna watch those. And then what we're gonna do is watch another video of somebody that's actually in a country that has an idealistic view that she wants, and see if she would move there. And so yeah, we're gonna watch that, and make sure you stay to the end so you get all of it and know which country I'm talking about. So we're gonna start off with recapping yesterday's video. So this woman literally came online and said that her whole family, her whole tree of people that she's surrounded with is getting government subsidies, is getting government paychecks, is getting food stamps. So you name it, she's getting it. And her only job is growing food for a fruit pantry and doing social media TikTok. And she's basically saying that everybody needs free healthcare, and we're already paying taxes, so why not? The only thing she hasn't mentioned is she's not paying taxes. We all do. But here we go. Let's watch this video.
Steve, you and your employer pay for healthcare because you don't want free healthcare. If you wanted free healthcare, you would have free healthcare because you would vote for it and choose the politicians who wanted to give you free healthcare, universal healthcare. If you don't want universal healthcare, so that's why you don't have universal healthcare. Everybody in America deserves universal healthcare, including you. You don't have it because you don't want it, right? You don't want free healthcare. Clearly. Make America great again. America's the best country in the world. You all yell and scream until it comes time to try out a free healthcare system, which we already have in place because of Medicaid. It's already, our universal healthcare is already in place for Medicaid. All we have to do is wake up tomorrow and just give everybody Medicaid. And then you have it. It's already being paid for by your taxes. Make America great again, but we're not good enough to try free healthcare. We're too weak for that. Make it make sense. Sorry, hold on. It's awful. It's terrible. That is what they want. That's all they want. They just want you to wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, die.
So as you've seen, this lovely woman is double daring down and saying that she is just, she deserves it. She thinks that we're paying taxes, so why not? And the problem with some of these views is that they're great in theory. In a philosophy class, I would agree with her that yeah, everybody deserves to get health care, everybody does that. But then we need to know that everything in this world costs money. And everything in this world is moved by people exchanging something of value with each other for them to move and get out of bed. Because if you don't get money, you probably just be sleeping in your bed every day, and why get up? So this woman clearly has never ever done math, and this is why she's probably watching this video, because I know she's online. So let's look at what people spend on Medicaid. So what the government actually spends on Medicaid. So the government spends $870 billion in 2023 on Medicaid. So now the question is, how much does the government spend per person on Medicaid in 2023? And how much of the US population is actually on Medicaid? So here we go. We got those numbers. So there's roughly 22.8% of people are getting some sort of assistance on Medicaid and are relying on the government for their health benefits. So now let's check what the government is spending on those people. So there's 7.86 million people enrolled, and they're spending about $8,800 per person. So now we did some simple math and said, hey, if we're gonna do $8,800 per person, let's calculate that, get it for all. So here we go. We did the math. If the US government spends $8,800 per citizen to give them free health care, this is how our physical budget in 2025 would look like. And that alone, Medicaid, would consume 47% of the entire federal budget. And that is off of $6.4 trillion. The remaining 53% would be left for everything else: defense, infrastructure, education, social security, and everything else. So now let's look at what the budget today actually looks like. And this is what it's actually looking like. Most of the money is spent by Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and food assistance. And then 27% is covered by education, housing, transportation, and anything else. Then interest on the national debt, 6.5%. Other miscellaneous, 6.7%. Smaller administration groups and other programs. So as you see, there is a bunch of stuff that we could not even think about paying. So if you worked and you're like, let me get Social Security because I worked my whole life. Nope, you're not gonna get it because we're gonna give healthcare to everybody. And right now it's costing $8,800 per person. That is gonna change dramatically once we're gonna implement that. Why? Because this person, this woman has not understood the concept of government involvement. Whenever the government touches anything, it's never for the better. It is always for the worse. When you would tell the government to build houses, they would blow down in the first rain or windstorm, whatever comes up, because they cannot do anything right. And they would overspend by hundreds of millions of dollars for a normal house. How do I know? Let's check at Boeing C-17 soap dispensers. So the defense industry had to get, the Pentagon actually wanted to buy a soap dispenser for C-17. They've upcharged them 8,000%. What do you think will happen to everybody that's in the medical sector? They're gonna upcharge them like you know what. They're gonna do the same thing, and so your $8,800 is gonna go through the roof. So right now you're spending $8,800. In a year or two, it'd be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, because why not, right? You can do it. They did it with the soap dispenser, so everything in the healthcare industry is just gonna go bananas. And so your ideal is basically communism, where we own nothing and the state kind of distributes everything. And you don't want socialism. No, you want everything to be run by the government, because right now you're even on it. You're on food stamps, you're on SSI, you're on all these programs that basically provide you a living. And people have been saying in the comment section, why don't you get a job? And you were saying, well, I don't have time because I watch for my kids and I have mental disabilities and I have all these excuses why you can't do it. And to that I say, everybody has problems. Everybody has mental issues. You think people want to get up at 6, 7 a.m. to go to work? No, you could classify that as a mental disability. You think I want to have hard conversations with my employees about them not showing up and not providing? No, I don't want to do that. That's mental anxiety. It's probably classified under some code in the psychology handbook, right? So as you're seeing, there's a bunch of classifications why I could also qualify. And you watching this, you probably also qualify. But you know that nothing is handed out for free. So let's watch a country where they regulate everything. And if you guessed it at the beginning of the video, it is Cuba. So let's watch this creator talk about Cuba.
Did you know in Cuba, if you need a surgery, if you need any kind of medical assistance, you have to pay for the supplies. Not only do you have to pay for the supplies, you have to find the supplies to do your surgery. So my husband's mother, she needs her gallbladder removed and she can't. Why? Because she doesn't have the medical supplies.
What's a communist country look like in 2025? Well, we're in Cuba. As you can tell, we have private stores, so capitalism is slowly but surely coming here. All the government-run stores are slowly disappearing because they're too expensive. And so people are surviving by starting places like this. Anyways, there's a shortage of products, but if you have money, you can get it. Some of the products, ironically, come from the United States. I don't know exactly how they get here, but most of the products come from places like Spain or other countries in Latin America. This is a government-run store. As you guys can see, nobody is there. Again, it's expensive and it's closed. Bureaucracy in a nutshell. That's what it looks like.
So now we watch this video and we're seeing that capitalism is coming back even in places like Cuba where everything is government owned. So let's watch another video to see how the living conditions are.
I want to show you guys how Cubans are living in the decaying buildings of Havana. So a lot of these houses, since they're old historical Spanish buildings, they're quite big and spacious. Look at how high the roof is. Sometimes we have 10 people to a place like this. the light constantly goes out, the electricity. So we have a bed here. We have the entertainment set. The religious. Yes, I like it a lot. Me gusta mucho. The kitchen. Look at how high the ceilings are. Another bedroom, the closet here. Here's the closet. And people live in fear here because the buildings could fall at any moment, but these are the houses that they've had for generations ever since.
So as you've seen, it's absolutely crazy where you see that the roofs aren't in great shape, the houses, the buildings, everything, because you just don't make enough. And we're one step away from you basically going out and saying everybody needs to get free healthcare, everybody needs to do that. Who's going to pay for it? So in order for the government to then come in and save the day and give you healthcare, they might as well run it themselves. And all of a sudden, we're in a situation like Cuba is. And the only thing how you can keep an economy afloat basically is when there's free movement of capital. Somebody comes in and says the price is going to be lower than other people. That's price competitiveness. So in order for you to run a business, and kind of know a little bit about that, is in order for you to run a business, you need to offer a value in exchange of goods. And when you do that, there's going to be hard costs that you're going to have to spend on acquiring this stuff, and then you're going to have to sell it and persuade somebody with sales to buy it. But if you're just going to sell to the government, you can just tell them however much the price is going to be. You can come up with random numbers and say, this is what we're going to charge. And they did that in the C-17 thing where they upcharged them 8,000%. And now you're seeing that all of a sudden where you're coming in and saying, we want free stuff. It's not free. It is never free. It comes at a huge cost to everybody else working. And that's why they've been saying online, and that's why you're getting roasted, that people are saying that you need to go to work. You need to start contributing. Your mental health, you can get off of that and just start working. You can literally go find a job and have your employer pay for your health care. But no, you'd rather wait 2 hours in line and not work and make TikTok videos than actually go do a job that pays you something, and then all of a sudden you don't need to wait in line for 2 hours at the pantry anymore, and you don't need to do that. And there's people out here, and I feel so sorry for these people that work 2-3 jobs and that are literally breaking their backs in the heat, doing everything they can to provide for their family. And then we have people like that are just like, oh, let's just have the government pick up the tab and we're going to get SSI, we're going to get Medicaid, we're going to get food stamp, we're going to get all of these other stuff. And then we have creators like this that are actually working and are making enough. So let's check out this video.
I'm going to show you how much money I have in my bank account, and it's not a lot. But I do want to preface with this, that a lot of people in America are experiencing this. A lot of people live like this. This is their regular lives. I am that family that makes just enough that we don't qualify for like food stamps and stuff like that, but still living paycheck to paycheck. Being on maternity leave, most places in the US do not pay you. I'm an elementary teacher in a public school district, and I get paid so little that my children receive free and reduced lunch. Having a job that requires a degree that I went into major debt, am in major debt for. This is what my bank account looks like. $6.84. We have a mortgage. We have 3 kids. Things are tight. We make it work. And this is what it's like for a lot of people. A lot of those lower, technically middle class, but lower middle class people. This is how we're living. And it's rough out here, which is why I have been pushing TikTok so much. So if you want to support me, give me a follow. If not, be on your way. It's fine.
As you saw, this poor woman has $6 in her checking account, and she's actually a teacher, and she's a full-time teacher, and she's actually working hard of trying to make it. And now she's not getting full benefits, and she's not even getting maternity leave paid for because she's just a school teacher. So now, if this was me, I would say we'll strip all her benefits and give it to that person that is working, because that other person is educating the next generation of Americans, the next generation of entrepreneurs, the next generations of go-doers. And this other person is basically teaching all her kids how to sleaze away at the system and keep having the hand in the cookie jar and just kind of living off the government and say, hey, we can make it. Of course we can, because we're just meant, and we can just get everything for free, and everything is going to be free for here to who knows when, and we deserve that because we are Americans. That is the false assumption. Whenever you get something for free, somebody else had to pick up the tab. If it has been veterans, if it's been people working at grocery stores, checkers, clerks, bus drivers, people working in lawn care, people slaving away, people dying at their jobs, for you to basically come in and say, thanks, I'm just gonna take everything for free. And my biggest excitement of the day is waiting 2 hours in the food pantry line to get some free food. This is just absolutely crazy to see this woman going out, making videos, saying that she grows food and does TikTok video as a job because she can't do it. 2 hours waiting in food pantries rather than kind of going out, making a job, getting a career, doing the right thing because her child, her mental disabilities don't allow her to do it. Girl, everybody has mental disabilities. Everybody has problems, but we just try to put them away, try to deal with the best of it, try to make every day better. And you know what I think you should do? You should probably read the book of Atomic Habits. I keep referencing it, and if you want me to send it to you, I'd actually send it to you. I actually would send you a copy. And you can become 1% better every day. Start learning about different things, become an expert. Even Albert Einstein said, just spend 15 minutes a day and you'll become an expert over time. And so become a social media consultant, do a whole bunch of other stuff and use that leverage for good. But I know that's gonna be involved in work and you're gonna have very short arms when it comes to doing any type of work. And this is what's sad. And this is what's kind of driving me nuts when people go online and say, oh, I'm getting turned down as a creator because my whole family lives off of food stamps and government assistance and all that. What do you teach your kids? What are your kids gonna think when you're gonna grow up? You are their role model. You are their role model. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna tell them that it's okay to live off the government. It's okay because they see you, they idolize you. And then all of a sudden your kid thinks, hey, my mom does it, so should I. Because you should go and teach them what hard work really, really means. And as I know you probably got free college lined up for the kids, you got everything else done, and other people got to go to college, take out a lot of debt, and got to do the whole 9 yards of paying it back, being in debt for years, and have to put their life on pause. But you're probably going to get free college and going to do all that kind of stuff because you deserve it, right? And to that I say, what a crazy world we're living in, where nobody knows how to do math anymore. Everybody thinks the government's here to save you. And Ronald Reagan said it, the craziest words that the government can say is, we're here to help. So absolutely bananas. This woman is just crazy. Somebody should make a claim and audit her. Send some stuff in, say, is this truly legit, or is she just kind of keep going on and on and on, and maybe she's making too much money or some kind of loophole? And yeah, let me know. But if you haven't, please like and subscribe. And yeah, what do you think about all this? Because it is just crazy. And then people in the comment section have been telling me, what about Swiss health insurance? Swiss health insurance, the government just tells you exactly how much minimum coverage you need. And then it's not employer sponsored. It is basically you going out, and every year you can shop on the open market and say, this is what we're gonna get, and this is how much coverage I need, and then you buy it, and you pay for it, and then if you don't make enough money, you can then say, you know what, I don't make enough, and you can ask for government subsidies, and then the government will step in and kind of help you out a little bit for your basic coverage, and everything else is not needed. So yeah, absolutely crazy. And on top of the free topic, why don't we make food for free? Why don't we make tires for free? Because, I don't want to pay for tires. The US has a free right of travel, and so let's make that for free. Hey, food's a necessity. Let's make that for free. Let's make everything for free, for God's sakes. This is what this woman's thinking. So, man, this is just absolutely crazy. Yeah, but if nobody wants to work, who's going to provide all these services? And fraud's going to go through the roof because few people will highly capitalize on it. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.